Hey everyone, it's Carly and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my LA book haul. So I'm not going to front, I have 80 books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and it is a lot. I know that this is probably an insane amount, but I do have the privilege of being able to go to this event and to get all these arcs and stuff like that, so I am really grateful that I was able to do that and to be accompanied by a bunch of friends that I made there. And this is in no way bragging, I'm just kind of sharing with you guys like upcoming releases that are be coming in the next couple months. I have books all the way from January to, September I think. So you guys could add all these onto your TBR for this year because a lot of these books sound amazing, and I will just say this now, I do not know a good portion of these books' synopses. And I did at the time when I was like looking at them. I always say that. It's a habit. I swear I mean it though. Like I do. I knew what these books were about at the time, or some of these I actually did just pick up because the cover looked good, which I did with a good couple of these because they looked good. They looked like they'd be a good read, and a lot of these books are definitely some hard-hitting books. A lot of the books that I was looking at that were being put out were a lot of hard-hitting like contemporaries or just hard-hitting books about like death or like hard-hitting topics. And so I guess it's kind of what all the books are going to be like this year with releasing. So without further ado, I'm going to be jumping into some of the knick-knacky stuff that I got, and then I'm going to hop into books that are already released that I was able to get, and then I'll be jumping into books for the next coming months that'll be released. We got some duffel bags or little bags to carry around. So this one said read on it, borrow, read, repeat, and then my back says warring reads. So in here I have a bunch of like fun stuff that I like picked up, some freebies because I was with Katie and she loved getting freebies. I got some bookmarks, could never have too many of those. I got a Thrift Books pen, which I love thrift books, and then I got this like carry on for your luggage like tag from Penguin Reads or Penguin Books or whatever. And then I also have like little tabs from Thrift Books. I thought that was pretty cool. I also have this sticker that I kind of want to put like in my car. It says you never know the story by the cover. You never know the story by the cover of the books, from Mr. Rogers. I thought that was really cute. One of my favorite things that I got was a character card for Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare that's coming out. I actually didn't get a copy of this, but the girls did when they were leaving. I have a vlog of this, by the way, of the people that I went with, but I'm excited to look into this because it has all the people that are in the books, and it has like all of their like information. So like favorite animal, favorite place to go in London, and favorite weapons and stuff like that. So that's like really cool. I also, I got another bookmark from audiobooks, and I was looking around and there was all these things that said audiobooks are not cheating. Found a little pamphlet, and then I also did get a little tote bag that says audiobooks are not cheating, and I fucking love this so much. I literally like squealed when I saw it. I was like, oh, please take that, thank you. A couple more things. I have a little Thrift Books keychain, which is really cute. I'll probably put that on my phone, or on my key chain for my car. Then I also have this pen. I don't know, and then there's like a Be Anti-Racist bookmark for a book that's coming out called Stamped. It's coming out this year. I have some reusable straws, so I thought that was pretty cool. That is it for the little knick-knack stuff that I got. I thought that was all kind of cool little things. And now I'm going to jump into the little stack of books that are already out that I was able to get my hands on. So I'm like 95% sure most of these books are out. So on top I have Komi Can't Communicate. I already know this is out. This is a manga and it's already out. Obviously this is volume 1, and it's about like a socially awkward teenager in high school, and like I think it's like her quest on trying to find love and friends and stuff like that. I love mangas and I love finding some good ones, and this one's been on my TBR for a little while, so I was really glad to see this and pick it up. Next is another manga that they kind of like gave to me, and I was like, okay, we'll try it out. It's called Demon Slayer. I've never heard of it. I don't know if it's out. I don't usually read these type of mangas, but I guess we can try and see what it's like. Okay, so the next book is, it's not even a book, it's a graphic novel, and it's an erotica graphic novel, and I am so fucking excited for this. Like, out of all the books, I want to read this one the most, which is really sad. But it's called Faithless by Brian Azzarello and Maria Lovett, and I went to buddy read this with the girls, and I'm just gonna like, it's a lot of sex scenes. I'm really excited because it just seems like a fucking good time. And on the back it says something with magic is being dabbled in, and sounds like a cool, fun magic erotica book. Next is Just Beyond by R.L. Stein, and this is like, I think like a middle grade. It actually might not be a middle grade graphic novel, but I don't believe this is out yet, but it looked really cool, and I've never really read anything by R.L. Stein, but I think she's popular from Goosebumps. They are popular from Goosebumps, and I grew up with like Goosebumps, so I thought that was pretty cool. They have a graphic novel out, so I'm excited to try this one out. Next are a couple other graphic novels. The first one is The Backstagers, Volume 1. Okay, this is The Backstagers Volume 1, and this looks like a cute little musical, with backstage stuff going on, and I don't really know too much about it, but it looked cute, so I grabbed it. Next is one that's actually been on my TBR for the longest time, and that is Heavy Vinyl. I'm so excited to have this in my hands. I cannot wait to read this. This is kind of like Empire Records. I think the person said it's like an Empire Records movie but in a graphic novel, and that's all I needed to hear, even though I already knew what this is about. It's like a feminism book, and I can't wait to read this. Now I have all books that are physical novels that are out. First one is Revere. I never actually read this book or knew anything about this, by Ryan LaSala, and he was actually there, but I didn't see him. I saw a video on him on Twitter of him dancing, and I really don't know anything about this, but the cover's really cool, and I heard great things about this, so we'll have to find out. Next two books are actually from Madison Mary. She brought me these books and said if I wanted them, I could have them. So the first one is Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. This is a hefty bad boy. I love the sprayed edges, and they're so fun and cool. This is obviously a very well-known book, and it's kind of hit or miss. I hear a lot of people say different opinions about it, but I am going to form my own opinion, and it's a different type of book than I usually would read, but this is perfect because I actually got the second book at ALA as well, so I'm excited to give this a try. It's about war, about two different types of people in war, and powers and magic and all that kind of stuff. Next one she gave me is another one that I've heard nothing but amazing things about, and that is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. And I'm super excited to read this because this is so different from any other book that I really have read before. The synopsis sounds amazing, and it's a very well beloved book on BookTube, so I think I will love this. Next one is my fave. I got Interment by Samira Ahmed, and she signed it. It says, Carly, raise your voice, speak your thoughts. I can't read cursive. She was so sweet. I think I got a couple books signed earlier when I went to LA, but she was the one that was one of my favorites because I've been dying to get my hands on this book for one. This is about a Muslim, what is it called? Muslim concentration camp kind of thing, and I've been really wanting to read this, and I wanted to get it physically. And I know this is gonna hit hard, and she was so sweet. I loved meeting her, and she asked if I was a teacher, I think, and I was like, oh yeah, I actually technically I am. I work at a daycare. I said, but I wanted to become a teacher in an elementary school eventually. And she was so sweet, and just we talked for a little bit, and it was so. And lastly, a book that I got from ALA that is already out is Woman on the Edge by Samantha M. Bailey. It is a thriller. It involves a woman and her child, it being threatened, taken away, and it just sounds like it could go different ways. I really don't know much about this, so I'm not even gonna try and bullshit you on this, but I think I heard a couple people talking about this, so I decided to try it because I thought it was not out yet, but apparently it is. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, the books that are coming out in 2020. We're gonna start off with January. So I was going through my books and I didn't realize that this one was already out in January. This came out January 7th, and that is Furious Things by Jenny Downham. And I think this has to do with domestic violence and it being a very touchy subject. This is a very thick book, and it's really floppy too, which I really like. It has a really nice cover, and I like the title of it, Furious Things. I thought it was pretty cool. And I think this is going to be a really good book, and I could see this being very popular this year. A couple people from ALA have already picked it up and started talking about it, and I'm really excited because I think that I'll really like this. Now we're going to go into February. Okay, February, there's a lot of books. So the first one that I got this one because of Chelsea, I'm pretty sure, and that is The Gravity of Us by Phil Stammer, and I'm pretty sure this is an LGBTQ plus book about space, and I didn't really want to get it for that reason because it's spacey, and I don't really tend to read sci-fi or anything to do with space and all that kind of stuff, but there's an LGBT rep in it, and I really want to read that, and it looks really cute. This cover is amazing. I love this cover so much. That's also another reason why I wanted to get it, was because of the cover. Next is a book that I feel like Books and Lala would read, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Again, another mystery, thriller, all that kind of stuff. You guys know that I love my thrillers, and I'm I don't even need to know the synopsis of thrillers, and I will just grab them anyway, and this cover really dragged me in. This looks like it'll be a great time, and I can already foresee this being such a popular book released in February and for this year. Next one is one that I at first didn't want to get, but then I'm starting to get really into fantasy recently, and I got Ink in the Blood by Kim Simjikau. I'm really sorry. I think this is about where in their tattoos it's magical, and I think it has to do with if they they can do tattoos and it's like magical, something like that. I don't know. It's a fantasy aspect, and it sounded really good when the people were talking about it, so I was like, okay, I'll take a copy of that. And I'm really getting into fantasies right now. So next one is another one that I feel like is going to be very popular this year, and I want to say Books and Lala will definitely end up reading this. This is basically a video that's going to be like, I think Books and Lala will be reading this in the future. And that is The Other Misses. And the only reason that I believe this is going to be amazing is because Greer Hendricks actually like quoted it on this book and was talking about how great this book was. So I'm like, hello, my favorite thriller author. Yes, I will definitely love this and I will definitely take it. So I'm very fucking excited about this. Next is a middle grade. I actually got a couple middle grades while I was at ALA because I don't actually have any middle grades. Now that I'm looking at my shelves, I don't really think I have any, and I want to change that. So I picked up Gloomtown by Ronald L. Smith, and that looks super cute. It seems like it's gonna be very like whimsically, something like that, and sounds like it'll be a fun time. And yeah, next one is a really cute contemporary. It looks like fun, and it's called A Love-Hate Thing by Whitney D. Grandison. And again, this I think is about people having to move in together and they don't actually like each other, so I think it's like an enemies to lovers, and it should be a fun time. And the next one is What Kind of Girl by Alyssa Schnamel. You guys know I'm terrible with author names. Again, I believe this is going to be another hard-hitting piece because it says in the back, Girl in Pieces meets Moxie in this unflinching exploration of the many forms of abuse women may face and the strength it takes to recognize and claim your worth. So I can't wait to cry. And lastly for February is another book that I'm pretty sure I saw Chelsea reading on her way to Philly. I feel like a stalker, but it was on her Instagram story, so I saw that she was reading it on her way to Philly to ALA, and that is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Abertali. And I feel like this is going to be like that very like generic contemporary YA that I might not like. It's probably, I just feel like it's going to be so cringy, but I just wanted to pick it up to give it a try because the cover is super cool, and I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong, but I really have been struggling to get into like very contemporary YA where it's just kind of like the same old like cringy stuff that we read in every book, and I feel like Becky Abertali is that type of writer, and I feel bad saying that because I'm like kind of like dishing tea on her, but you know, I'm gonna give it a chance. Now we are gonna get into March, and March is probably the biggest stack of all. There's March for you. So as you can see, it's a really big stack. So the first one we have on top is I think a comic and a graphic novel, and the author was actually there signing for 2 different panels, and it is the Oracle Code, which I don't even know why I wanted this. I don't even know anything about this, but it just looked so good. There was like art that was on the wall that they were near, and it just looked really good. And they write other books that people have actually read about. It's by Mariki Ninjkamp. Okay, they said their name when we were there, and I totally forget how to say it, so I apologize. But it just seems like it's going to be a cool diversity read because it's a character is in a wheelchair, so I feel like it's going to have some like wheelchair rep in that and some like mental health rep as well. So I picked it up and I think it'll be a fun time. Next is one that's actually was on my 2020 anticipated releases, and that is When You Know What I Know. And this is like a poem. It's kind of written in verse. So I'm not too sure how this is going to go. I think this is also a middle grade. I could be wrong. Yeah, ages 8 to 12. So this is a middle grade, and it looks like a fun time. This is also by Sonja K. Salter, and I love the cover of it. It was also, like I said, on my 2020 anticipated releases, so I think this will be a good time. Next is another book that actually sounds really good. It's kind of like magical realism kind of meets like abuse. And it's If These Wings Could Fly, and at first I looked at it, I was like, I'm not really gonna pick it up or ask anything about it, but the girl that was at the booth was like, this is about a abusive father who I think is also an alcoholic, and he like breaks a lot of things in the house, and the house ends up like repairing everything. Like the house fixes itself after he like tears it apart, and it sounded like really cute but hard hitting at the same time, and I really think I'm gonna love this book. I can also see this being very, very popular this year, and I think for good reasons as well. Next is a book that I know I'm gonna love, and that is If I Never Met You, and I'm pretty sure I requested this on NetGalley and it got neglected, but you know, here I am, NetGalley, I got it, so fuck you. This is by Maria McFarlane. I'm sorry. This says, when fake love is this easy, how do you know when it's real? So this is like a fake dating, and that's all I needed to know. Alright, next one is Once Upon a Sunset by Tiff Marcello, and I believe this is about a OBGYN, and she needs a break from life, and so she goes and finds her grandfather's journals or something like that, and it's just kind of like a cute like little homey book, and it's gonna be like another hard-hitting one, I'm pretty sure, but the cover is gorgeous. Next one is another middle grade, and that is Show Me a Sign by Anne Claire Lizzotti. I'm pretty sure it's about sign language, which I did try and read a book, yes, recently. The Silence Between Us. I tried reading that one, and it was about sign language, and I didn't like it, but I think this will do a better job at sign language, especially because it is middle grade, so I think they'll have a easier time for, you know, my small peanut brain to enhance with sign language and the story behind it, and it just looks really cute. I love the cover of it. I can't wait to read more middle grade and just middle grade in general, so I'm excited to give this one a try. Next one is another middle grade, and that is Can You See Me? And it's about a girl, I'm pretty sure it's like having a hard time trying to fit in, and I think she also has, yeah, she's autistic. There's autism rep in this, so I thought that was really cool because I've actually never read a book with autism rep in it, and I think that'd be a really good thing for me to, you know, get myself acquainted with. And I'm excited to read this because I think this is going to be like another hard hitting, but like middle grade hard hitting, and the cover is so cute, like little tiger stripes, like she's a tiger, she's your fierce girl. Next one is a book that I was like really lucky to get because I saw it on the shelves and we were like able to take them off the shelves, and then I walked back a little later and you weren't allowed to take these books anymore, and I was like, well, I'm glad I got a copy of it because it is Music from Another World by Robin Talley, and this is like an LGBTQ plus book, and it says summer 1977, closeted lesbians and romance, and it just sounds like a good time because it's the 70s. I love anything 70s, and it's an Own Voices, apparently. It says Own Voices historical YA novel, and about two point of views about two girls finding their identities and their place in the fight for the fight for gay rights during the era of Harvey Milk and Anita Bryant. So that sounds like a good time. Like I'm signed up. I'm ready to go. Next is another thriller, and that is called The Return by Rachel Harrison. This cover is cool. I love it. I don't know much about this, and I'm going to keep it that way. I heard some things about it, but I'm honestly blanking on it, but the cover is cool. That's all I needed to know, and that's all I'm going to need to read it. Y'all, when I heard that this book was going to be there, I about shit my pants, and I was really grateful that I was able to get a copy of it, or else I was going to shit my pants, because if I didn't get it, I was going to be very mad and shit my pants. But The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. I'm so excited because you guys know I love Christina Lauren. I am trying to read all their books, and I am about almost done, I think. A good portion of the way before I have to jump into their series. But I'm excited about this. I don't even know what it's about, but I don't even really care. I'm gonna read it anyway because it's Christina Lauren. Hello. I'm just hoping it's better than their last release, which was, what was it, Twice in a Blue Moon? Something like that. I hated that. I really did not like that book. I didn't hate it per se, but I didn't like it. So I'm hoping that this one's a lot better because I need that. I need it. Next is one that I actually just saw Books and Lala talking about this morning, and that is We Are the Wildcats by Sobhan Vivian, and she is very excited for this book, and this sounds really good. I love the cover of this. It's so cool. So it's about like feminism and like field hockey, I want to say, and girls just kind of like getting in the mix of things and doing bad things and like finding themselves and, you know, being own voices and stuff like that. And it sounds like it's gonna be like a really fun adventurous ride, but I feel like there's also gonna be some sort of like hard-hitting element to it. But again, I'm really excited to read it. Next is a book that I've actually already tried to read and DNF'd. That is The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silvers. I never read The One Day in December or whatever it's called by her, and I tried to read this. It's about a girl named Lydia, and her husband Freddie dies in a car accident, and it's her just trying to cope with his loss and her trying to basically just like continue on her life without him. But then she starts having these dreams where she is literally in like another life with Freddie. So it just wasn't for me. I'm not like the right mindset for this. I don't like reading sad books, and I don't typically ever pick up sad books that are really like this. Like, this is really sad. Like, this is what depression feels like. The first couple chapters literally just feels like depression, like, for yourself, and I just didn't like that because I already deal with that enough. I don't feel like reading about it, so it just wasn't for me, sadly. It's a really gorgeous cover, and I think I requested it off of NetGalley at first, but I got a physical copy of it, but I'm definitely going to be giving it away just because it wasn't for me as much as I wanted it to be. But next is another book that I got signed, and that is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel, and I actually never did read Station 11. I heard a lot of things about it. I looked at it, but I never read into it. But this is I think this is about billionaires that like buy at a hotel or something like that. I was reading it and it sounded really cool. So I think it's gonna be fun. It just seems like it'll be fun. And if not, it's whatever. I also got it signed, like I said, and it says, To Carly with Best Wishes, so that was really cute. I love that. Next one I believe is also another middle grade, and it's called Center of Gravity, another really gorgeous cover. I believe it has to do with a girl who's really anxious, having to deal with anxiety, and having to deal with like life and friends and life and just all that kind of stuff. I already said life, but you know, stuff that like I deal with. So I feel like I'm gonna relate to this, so it'll be a great time to cry. And the last book for, what is it, March, is The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Charlotte. I never did read Four Dead Queens, but if I have this, I'm probably going to have to pick up Four Dead Queens. I did look at the synopsis of Four Dead Queens on Goodreads, and it sounded good enough, so I might have to pick it up if I'm really interested in reading it. But I have so many books that I really need to get to that this is probably going to be on the back burner for a little while. And now we're getting into April book releases. Here's April's stack. It's not as big, so we're just going to start off with a bang here. I'm not even going to fucking say it. I will leave up my rant review for this book. Next is Meet Me at Midnight by Jessica Pennington. Another, you know, contemporary romance, that cute kind of stuff. Should be fun. One that this cover is fucking amazing for one, and that is The Best Laid Plans by Cameron Lund. Look at this cover. This is going to be amazing. I'm so excited for this. It says, already binged all the rom-coms you can find. Don't worry, Cameron Lund's hilarious Sweeney debut has everything you're looking for. Hot guy, flirty messages, awkward mix-ups, inside jokes, steamy kisses, lots of pizza, secret crushes, epic prom drama, friends to lovers, to be determined. Bro, I can't wait to read this. Next is another hard-hitting one that actually I just saw somebody talking about on BookTube when I was watching videos before this. It's called The Lucky Ones, and this is by Liz Larson. Again, this has to do with a lot of death and like loss and stuff like that. So up top it says, sometimes holding on means letting go, and I love this cover. It is so pretty, but holy cow, that was a really pretty cover. I didn't even like really look at it. That's really fucking gorgeous. I cannot wait to read this. I think this is gonna be another really good hard-hitting book for this year. Next is Verona Comics, and this is by Jennifer Dugan. I think this has to do with a romance that starts with in Comic Con or in a comic store or something like that. Yes, a comic convention is where they find love, and that sounds like a cute, like, little nerdy romance, and like I'm here for that because like I love books and I would love that to happen to me. Next, another romance, and that is What I Like About You, is by Marissa Cantor. And again, I feel like I don't really need to like read the synopsis or give you anything, because I feel like by the cover of it you can just tell that it's going to be a cute like romance contemporary, and I'm just kind of getting tired of having to try and figure out what these synopsises are because I don't fucking know. Next is one that I think I actually requested on NetGalley as well, and that is the Happy Ever After playlist, and it actually comes out on my birthday, so that's really fucking cool. I really hope I love this. And this is by Abby Jemison, and I believe this is because after losing her fiance, she can't seem to get her life back on track, but something has to do with a dog. Oh, so she gets a dog. The guy is a musician on tour, and he wants his dog back. And so I guess there's like an enemies to lovers in that. That sounds really good. Thank you. And the next book is Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. This is the second book for the series. Wicked Saints is the first one. I already talked to you about this, but look at this hunker. It is huge. This, I have nothing to say because I did read the first one, so I can't really say anything, but I got it now if I want to read the series. And the last book for March is a graphic novel, comic, and that is Gothic High by Melissa De La Cruz. And I don't know why I picked this up because I don't know anything with Gotham or anything like that, but this actually looks really good. This is like, it says, before they became Batman, Catwoman, and the Joker, they were in high school, so it's like pretty cool. It's like their life before they became like those superheroes, supervillains, and stuff like that, so sign me up. Now we are getting into another big pack, and that is for May. No! Oh, fuck me. Top, we have Turtle Boy, and this is by Even. I believe this is about a kid who loves turtles, and he's very awkward and anxious, and I remember the girl telling me about it. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of weird but cute, so I got Turtle Boy. Next is another thriller, and that is Sister Dear, which I don't know anything about. It has to do with sisters, I guess, and thrillers, so there you have it. Next is Tiny Imperfections, another like contemporary romance, and yeah. Next is Every Missing Piece, and it says she sees danger everywhere she looks, at the bus stop, around the rolling rink, so she meets a mysterious boy setting booby traps, and she suspects the worst, and so I think it has to do with like mystery elements into it, but I feel like this is also a middle grade? I'm not too sure. Next is one that I've actually heard people talking about, and that is The Trouble with Hating You by Sinjin Patel, and this sounds really cool because it seems like this is like more of like a new adult or adult romance, so it should be a lot better than contemporary romance. Oh, I'm so excited for the next one. I have Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. You guys know I love Elizabeth Acevedo. I read like all of her books, and so I did not even know she was coming out with a new book, but when I saw this, I waited in a long ass line just to get this, and I'm so excited because I know it's gonna be so worth it. I cannot wait for this. I have no clue what it's about, but I don't really care because I'm gonna read it anyway. Next is another hard hitting, and that is Sarah in the Search for Normal by Wesley King. And she just wants to be normal, a girl that wants to be normal, and she has multiple diagnoses, and she deals with panic attacks and like anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's gonna be like a really good like mental health eye-opener book. Next is 4 Days of You and Me by Miranda Kennelly, and another romance. This looks really cute. I love the cover of it, and I didn't realize that there were actually real people on there, which is kind of weird, but it's a really cute cover, so I'll take it. Next, I was really confused by this, but it's Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. You guys know I already have this, but it's like a floppy paperback, and it's like hard, and this comes out, like, it says hardcover and paperback on sale date May 5th, so I didn't know that. I think the copies that we all have are from UK, so it's like the same one, but like floppy. Next is one that I actually requested off of NetGalley as well, and that is Date Me, Bryson Keller, and this is like a male romance, and I think it's going to be really cute because I've been like dying to get my hands on this, and I'm so glad I have it now. Next, I have no idea. It's called Forged in Fire and Stars. It's a fantasy, and I am really getting into fantasy, so I honestly just really want to keep reading fantasy, and I'm really excited to get into this because I think it'll be fun because it's fantasy animated, and I just kind of want to read fantasy. Next book is Pizza and Taco. I don't know how I got this, but I'm going to give it to my kids at my daycare because I think that they would like this. It's a cute like little like comic about pizzas and tacos. Like, come on. Kids love that. Next is The Jewel Thief by Jeannie Mulberry. This is another fantasy, and yes, can't wait to read it. Next is another middle grade, and it's called Stepping Stones, and it says Jen did not want to leave the city. She did not want to move to a new farm with her mom and her mom's boyfriend. And so basically it just kind of sounds like her having to live a new life and that she doesn't want to live, but she has to learn to accept it. So it sounds kind of cute. Next is another one I feel like everybody's heard about, and it's By the Book by Amanda Sellett. And this is basically a girl who tries to, I think, fall in love by reading romance books or watching romance movies, something like that, but it sounds like a really cute time, and I feel like this is gonna be like a really popular book because I feel like it already kind of is. Next is one that I'm really excited for, and that is Camp by L.C. Rosen, and this has to do with a LGBTQ camp, I'm pretty sure, about how this guy wants to be, I heard somebody talking about this before I was filming, and it's basically how this guy like meets somebody and he likes masculine guys, so he comes back a year later to the camp and he's more masculine for him, I guess. I don't know, it just sounds like a cute like LGBTQ plus book, and obviously I'm gonna like that. And then the last book for May is My Summer of Love and Misfortune by Lindsay Wong. This is like Asian rep, and I'm excited for this because it sounds like a really cute time, and it's about summer and summer love, and I love any books that are set in summer because summer is the best. Next, we are getting into the June releases, and this is another big pile. On top, we have Influence by Sarah Shepard. Look how cool that picture is, because up close, it's like pixelated, but then far away, like all the pixels come together. That's so cool. This has to do with like influencers and like online stuff and probably romance mixed in, so hello, I'll take. Next, I have no idea what this is. I just got in line for the signing and I got it. So it's called Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor, and I'm pretty sure I met them, right? Yes. And they were really sweet. I did talk to them a little bit too. If I can remember correctly, I think she saw my badge that I have booktuber on my thing, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're a booktuber? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what's your channel? And I give her my channel name, so like, hey girl, if you're like here, I got your book. Can't wait to read it. Next is another middle grade, and that is The Day I Was Erased by Lisa Thompson, and this is a really cute cover. I think this is about a boy who is having a hard time fitting in, and he's being blamed for everything in his life, and everything that goes wrong, everyone thinks it's him. And then it says he's erased and he can walk through the world. Nobody recognizes him, not even his own parents don't know him. Every impact he's had in his town is gone. So that sounds like a really cool book because it kind of sounds like a magical realism is mixed in with it because he's erased now. Next is one that I've been like so excited to get my hands on, and that is Kissing Lessons by Sophie Jordan. This is another like a really cute contemporary that I can't wait to read about. I have no idea what this is about, but the cover alone just like makes you want to read it, so I can't wait. Next is another hefty thriller, and it's called You're Next by Kylie whatever, I don't know. It's something about like a terrifying midnight call comes out of nowhere. Somebody hasn't spoken to somebody in months, and it's really heavy, so I really don't know how a 400-page book can be this what this could be about, like thriller-wise. So this should be interesting. It says Riverdale meets Fight Club. I don't like Riverdale, so I don't know. Next is Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert, and this is basically another really contemporary, and it says charming, charismatic, and effortlessly popular Conrad Stewart seems to have it all, but in reality he's scrambling to keep his life from falling apart. And I think this is actually LGBTQ plus rep in it, so male romance as well, so I think that'd be really cute. And it says when mortal enemies are stuck together on a crossroad trip to the biggest fan convention of their lives, their infamous rivalry takes a backseat as unexpected connection is forged. Thank you, yes please. So the next two I actually have 2 copies of. I don't know if I accidentally took one of the girls' copies, but it's My Eyes Are Up Here. This is like another feminist book about a 13-year-old who didn't think twice about her body and then, go through body changes, and this looks really cute. I can't wait to read this. Continuing into that big May pile, next is One to Watch by Kate Stamen Landon, and this is about a plus-size model, I'm pretty sure. It seems cute, so I'm excited to read this because it has good rep. Next is one that I was so excited to get my hands on. This is also my 2020 anticipated releases, and that's Keep My Heart in San Francisco by Amelia Diane Coombs, and another romance contemporary. I can't wait to read this one because I've been dying to get my hands on it, and it just looks so cute. I love this cover. It's so good. Next is another thriller, and that is Take Me With You by Tara Altibrando. It's a psychological thriller that challenges our trust in electronic devices we keep close. So sounds cool. Next is another fantasy that I don't know anything about. It's The Kinder Poison. Sounds cool. Has a cute cover. Can't wait to read more fantasy. Next is A Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood. This I think has like a touch of magic and contemporary. A gorgeous, dreamy coming-of-age romance set against a stunning Gatsby-esque backdrop, perfect for fans of I Capture the Castle. So cool. Next is a book that I've actually been like really running, and this is from another 2020 another 2020 anticipated releases, and that is The Mall by Megan McCafferty, and it has to do with the malls and an ode to tall bangs, boys with good taste and humor, and female friendships set in a place that mattered, and it just seems cute. Next is my first book that I got signed ever, and that is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Ingalls. I don't actually remember if she was the one that asked me about school. I'm really blanking on all the people that I met. I met like 3 authors, and then somebody asked me about working. I already talked about it earlier in the video about how she was asking me if I was going to read it to my kids or something like that. I don't know. But this is basically like about magicians, and it says Moulin Rouge meets Moulin, whatever, meets the Phantom of the Opera. So it says set right up to a spectacular, haunting debut novel infused with magic, mayhem, power, and passion. I already know this is going to be like a very, very popular book this year. And I got it signed, and it says to Carly, the show must go on, and it was really cute. I'm so excited to try and read this because I tried to read it right after we were at ALA, but my brain could not comprehend it, so I put it down just for another time, but I can't wait to read it. And the last one in May is You Brought Me the Ocean by Alex Sanchez, and I believe this has to do with a kid who doesn't swim because his father had drowned, and he lives in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, in the middle of a desert, yet he yearns for the ocean and determined to leave his hometown for college. So yeah, it sounds like a really hard-hitting contemporary. It's actually a comic, so haha, plot twist. Okay, so now the next 2 piles are my last 2 piles, and this is July, August, and September. So we're almost finished, people, finally. First one for July is Accidental by Alex Richards. I believe this is another heartbreaking, powerful, and coming-of-age book, so I love the cover. Next is one that we actually don't really know too much about, and I love the cover because it's just like so simple. It is called The Patient by Jasper Dewitt, and on the front of it says, I read this because as of now I am not sure if I am privy to a terrible secret or if I myself am insane. So it sounds like a mental hospital kind of thing, and I just can't wait to read this because it sounds like it's gonna be so fucking cool, and I can't wait. Next is, I love this cover. It's called Give Me Everything You Got by Eva Marie Palmer, and I'm pretty sure it's set in the 70s. Again, can't wait for that. I love 70s. And it says the age of roller skates and feather bangs, of Charlie's Angels and Saturday Night Fever. And it's about a girl who doesn't have much sexual experience, and then some guy comes along and I guess kind of shows her everything about romance and all that kind of stuff. It sounds cute. I'm ready for it. Next is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. I want to say that this might be a thriller or fantasy or something like that. I don't know. Next is another middle grade, and that is Carrie and the Knight of the Forest by Andy Watson. Just sounds cute, and it says a fantastical middle grade graphic novel for fans of adventure. So it's actually a comic, so that's pretty cool. This is the last July one, I'm pretty sure, and it says Girl from Nowhere by Tiffany Rosenhan. It says 94 countries, 31 schools, 2 bullets. Now it's over, so she thinks. So this sounds like it might have to do with like shootings, like school shootings, like it does in our world right now. And it says Red Sparrow meets One of Us is Lying in this action-packed, romance-filled YA debut about a girl trying to outrun her past. Fucking sign me up. And now this is August, and this is Love Sold Separately by Ellen Meister, and I saw it, I like the cover, I took it, and it says she might just make it after all, starting out single in the big city as an actor in her 20s. So it sounds kind of cool. This is August still, and this says More Than Just a Pretty Face by Said M. Masood, and the person that worked the booth was just kind of like talking our ear off about this and made us really want to buy it, really want to get it. So I really am excited to read this because it's kind of like a romance. And lastly is Even If We Break by Marika Ninja Camp. Again, I don't know how to say their name, I'm so sorry. But it says 5 friends go to a cabin, 4 of them are hiding secrets, 3 years of history behind them, and 2 are doomed from the start. 1 person wants to end this, no one is safe. So I can't wait for this because it sounds so fucking cool. And I just, yeah, I'm excited for this. And did I get this signed? I think I got this one signed too. Oh yes. It says, play the game. Cool. I like that. Oh my lord, that was way too long of a haul. I'm gonna hate editing this. Anyway, I hope you guys somehow enjoyed that messy video and me not knowing my synopses of anything. I apologize, but if you did somehow like it, give it a big like, subscribe down below, join the family for more videos like this and more distress coming from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.